Hey man, I'm Chris with Phone Cats. Huge balance update coming that we really needed. Cliff notes, Royal damage is getting a 4% damage decrease. Is that enough? Is that enough to deter the masses away from it? Coming straight from Clash Royale, he's great again, maybe a little bit too great. We don't want to tone him down too much, as his use rates and win rates don't suggest he's overpowered. A small damage reduction should rein him in a bit, and we'll continue to keep an eye on him. Remember how they nerfed Expo? They just kept chipping away at it. They might do this to Royal Giant, unless enough people back off of it, because right now, it feels OP. But they're saying that it's not. His use rates and win rates don't suggest that he's overpowered. A lot of people are playing with it and losing still. Freeze is getting a 1-second nerf. That'll deter a lot of the Hog Freeze cool kids, but Hog Zap ain't going anywhere. Hog Zap is gonna take over, dude. I'm terrified. Hog Freeze can be a devastating combo when pulled off correctly. It's highly used at all levels. We don't want to deter offensive gameplay, so instead of adjusting the Hog Rider, we wanted to see see how a change in Freeze would shake things up. Okay, so Hog Rider ain't changing. All the Hog Freeze kids are going to just migrate to Hog Zap, which might even be better already. With the Freeze nerf, I think it's definitely going to be better. But yeah, they didn't want to touch the Hog Rider. I don't know what I think about that. I was kind of hoping for a Hog Rider nerf because everybody's doing it. I want more diversity. But all the new cards are getting buffs. Except Sparky. Sparky's looking quite good overall. Her use rates and win rates are healthy. But she's certainly a card that can take people by surprise and feel overpowered. Once you figure it out though, she's not that scary. Yeah, 1 elixir skeletons, bro. Drop anything right on top of Sparky, and they'll spread out and surround. Sparky can't handle that. Furnace is getting a buff. They're dropping it from 5 elixir down to 4. The hit points are going down by 14%, and the lifetime is going down to 40 seconds. So the cost from 5 to 4. The duration from 50 seconds to 40 seconds. Both of those, they're getting, what is that? A 20% reduction? And the hit points are only going down by 14%. So that feels like a low-key buff to the HP of the smaller version. Here we go. The Furnace had a very low had a very low use rate, so we decided a small rework was in order. Lower elixir costs combined with decreased HP and lifetime balances should make it a viable choice. That's a little buff, I think, but I'm not a mathy math. Here's a real buff. Fire Spirits, area damage increases by 25%. All those times that you drop Fire Spirits in front of Barbarians and they all targeted 1 and 3 lived? Or minions, like it was mid-attack and you didn't play your Fire Spirits in the perfect spot. So they all jumped on 1 minion and then like 3 or like 3.5 survived. That's going to be happening way less. Damage rating increased by 25%. I think that's going to be a big deal. Guards! Finally! Guard HP and damage increased by 8%. Dude, all we're seeing is Hog Rider and Royal Giant. In my neck of the woods, at least. So Stab Goblins are a better choice because their DPS is so much higher. But now Guards are going to have more HP and more DPS. I'll give them another round. Miner, hit points going up by 6%? What? Thought it was already good. That's going to get weird. Let's keep moving. Lava Hound and Lava Pups are getting a buff. The actual Big Hound, HP increased by 3%. The Lava Pups, HP is going up by 9%. Could be beefy. Elixir Collector catching a nerf. Hit points decreased by 9 again. Use rates at the top was too high. It was the most popular card. Not like these. Doing poison and fireball on a pump might be a better move now. Might be a better move. It is a better move. Knight, HP increased by 10%. Knight's a great well-rounded basic troop, but its simple functionality can be overlooked by snazzier cards you unlock later. As a result, these use rates are very low overall. They want to see more of this mini tank. Yeah, I like Knight. Bomber, DPS going up by 10. Wow. Cats everywhere need my attention. Wow. Cannon, hit points decreased by 5. With Royal Giant's rise in fame, the cannon has remained popular. Despite our last round's balance changes, it's still the second most used card at the top. Elixir Pump, cannon, play with them, boys. We'd like to take a few more HP away and make it less of an obvious inclusion. All right. Tesla, hit points increased by 5%. Tesla doesn't stack up compared to cannon. Combination of this boost and the cannon's nerf should make it more interesting. Okay. Golem, hit points increased by 5, and Golemites. Good. And they talk about how the level 13 commons are kind of outclassing a lot of the epics. Witch, damage increased by 10%. I still don't know if it'll see play, dude. I'm not a big Witch fan at all. The skeletons are getting a buff, though, too. Skeletons, hit points and damage going up by 5%. Tombstone, hit points increased by 10. Tombstone's fallen out of favor because it's such a staple counter to Prince in the early game. We'd like to see a more viable choice again. Additionally, this change should make it possible alternative to the cannon and Tesla. All right. And then a couple weird little glitches that got patched over. Yo, I love that all the new cards got a buff. It feels like, except Sparky. Miner, Guards, Lava Hound, Furnace, Fire Spirits. Oh, God. That's so good, because I felt like all the new cards were a little bit underpowered. Nobody at the top has been playing with them. And they're giving them a little buff. And I think this is better, that they came out humble, and now they're getting a buff. Instead of coming out insanely OP, and then getting nerf, nerf, nerf. If they came out too good, I think we would all say, like, pay to win. If you don't have the new cards, you can't even play the game. Power creep. Power creep. Power creep is an expression like, let's say the Miner had the exact same stats as the Knight, which he just dropped. Perfect. The Miner is so much better because you can drop him anywhere on the map. But they buffed the Knight more than they're buffing the Miner. The Knight was already... had higher DPS and more of a tank compared to the Miner. But now it's getting amplified. But yeah, that was me just trying to describe power creep. What a rant. I don't know. I'm just really hyped for this update. The Furnace rework seems cool. Now we have huts at 3, 4, 5, and 7. I'm just waiting for that minion cave or the Expo factory. Ugh. And princess training camp. Poops out a princess every 5 seconds. We'll wrap it up with this Hardy replay. 25 seconds to go. These Arena 1 replays are fun to watch, dude. I show them on Twitch and people just cringe. 918 on the main. Killer arrows. Oh no. This is not gonna go well. See? It never... Oh, that wasn't that bad. 14? I can handle that. Alright, balance changes go live in 3 days. See you in the arena. Thanks for watching. Phone Cats.